Christ is risen, truly, and we with him. Greetings from the whole team at Divine Healing Ministries on this Resurrection Day. And we're just full of joy in this day that in the midst of this time, in the midst even of the challenge of this last year, we can proclaim today and every day that Christ is risen and we with him. And that makes all the difference. Thank you for journeying with us, whether you've just come to us in recent times or you've been with us over this last year and beyond. Thank you for all the new friends that we've made, even through our live streams when we couldn't meet in person. Can I let you know today that we, the whole team of Divine Healing Ministries, we're praying with you and for you, and we continue to do so. Today's reading is from the Acts of the Apostles, and in chapter 10 of Acts, Peter is addressing the house of Cornelius, that house of Gentiles. Let's listen to what Peter says. God had anointed Jesus with the Holy Spirit and with power. And because God was with him, Jesus went about doing good and healing all who had fallen into the power of the devil. Peter goes on to say, now I and those with me can witness to these things and to everything that Jesus did throughout the countryside of Judea. And yet 3 days afterwards, they hanged him on a tree. But God raised him to life and allowed him to be seen, not by the whole people, but by certain witnesses. There's that word witnesses again, that God had chosen beforehand. Now we are those witnesses. We've eaten and drunk with him after his resurrection from the dead. Just that word witnesses grabbed my heart today, that we also in 2021, we are witnesses that Christ is risen. And even over this last year, the Lord continues to show evidence that Christ is risen and we with him. Paul also writes in chapter 10 of the letter to the Romans, he writes that the same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead lives within us. The very same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead lives within us. So the truth is on this day and on every day that no matter what's going on in our lives, Christ is risen. And the same Spirit that raised Christ lives within us. That Spirit gives us joy. That Spirit gives us hope. And that Spirit gives us unity, his unity. And that's our prayer for you today and over these days and over this year ahead, that you would know the joy of Christ risen, you would know the hope of Christ risen, and that you would know the unity of Christ risen. And we continue to pray together, pray in that unity and in that hope. Continue to let us know how we can pray, continue to link and connect in with us. And thank you for your prayer and your encouragement. Yes, Christ is risen and we with him. Be blessed in this joy.